Hi, this is Trinisha Cottrell, and today I wanted to talk about leading. So, what made me want to talk about leading is earlier today I watched the sermon, and as I was watching and listening to the sermon, it really made me think about what a leader truly is. And the scripture that the pastor talked about, this wasn't the topic, but this is what I pulled away from it and what appealed to me, what resonated with me, and what gave me a revelation. And so when I thought about what becoming a leader entails, and I heard the scripture, it made me think of he leads me beside still waters. And the pastor said, he leads you beside still waters, and he maketh you lie down because it's something that's continually happening. It's not something that you do once and then that's it. It's something that he continues to make you rest, to continue to make you to be still in that moment so he can lead you where it is that he intends for you to go in your life. And it's funny because I'm always thinking about the direction that I'm going, and I'm one of the many several women that probably say they're looking for a guy that can lead them. And I want to be clear when I say this so that I don't start like this whole thing with other women and men who feel like the pressure is on them to lead in a way that they've never had to lead before, in a way that they don't know that this is the way they need to lead this person. And every individual person is going to be different. Every woman is going to be different. I may need to be led in a way where I feel strengthened, where I feel like I can trust you and lean on you, where I feel like if something's happening, I'll know that you'll take care of it because you're taking the lead of it. That might be something that I need. Other women may say that they need a man who's like making tons of money, or they, even though that's crazy. I mean, not crazy because everyone has their own preference or whatever else, and whatever it is, to each his own. I'm not saying that I'm going to tell you how to live your life or anything like that. I'm just saying every person is going to be different. And so leading is a learning process with every single relationship. You're not just going to get into the relationship and immediately know how to lead me because you don't know me. I'm just a random stranger that you're getting to know. So it wouldn't be until we actually really became serious, or we were really in a position where you knew the type of person I was, and the leading begins with who you are yourself. So, do you have direction for your own life? Is really what I mean when I say a leader. Someone who knows what it is, like where they're heading, or even if they might not know where God's leading them, they're following God. They are obedient to what it is that God's asking them to do. They have a sense of direction for their life. They know that these are the things that God put on their heart to do. They might not be the richest person in the world. They could be rich, they could not be rich. They might not be the most organized person in the world. They may just be the type of person who leads by faith and not by sight. They could be the type of person who just is intentional with their life. They're consistent in their purpose. They're consistent in getting to know me. And it could be, and I'm not saying I should be everything to them because God should be everything to both of us. I'm just saying that I want to feel as if I do matter. So I'm not saying I want to be the center of attention because there's other things going on in everyone's life. And it would be impossible for someone to be able to give that much attention to all of the people in their life. Now, would I be important to them? Okay. Would they care? Okay. But no, I don't expect to be someone just gives up everything for me. Like, I'm not saying give up everything in that way. I mean like things that really matter to them. I don't ever want to be the type of person that makes someone change who they are just to please me. I want the person to be already willing to grow and change because they want to become a better person for themselves. And I would just be the person I would hope that I could be the type of person who doesn't add any stress. For my life, I don't want somebody I know I'm always talking about relationships, but I feel like the more that I discuss it, the more that I'm on this faith journey and I'm learning more about myself, the more I feel like it's giving me more insight into the things that really truly matter in my life. And so I'm saying it here because I know people like my around my age, like younger than me and older than me, watch these videos, and I don't ever want a young person to see the video and say, "Well, I want a guy to lead me," and he doesn't know you yet. He doesn't he doesn't know what it is that you like, what you don't like. He doesn't know what things trigger you. He doesn't know, what's sensitive in your life because of your past. He doesn't know anything about you. So he can't lead you the way that you're thinking in your mind right away. That's something that's learned behavior. What he can do is lead himself. He could be a person who is obedient to God. He has a vision for his life. He's in his purpose, or there's something that he's working towards. His his zeal for life, his, I don't want to say passion, his commitment to wanting to be better, or to, I'm trying to think of the word that I'm thinking of. Man, his work ethic, like the intention he puts on his life is what makes him a good leader. Not, the money or the cars or the clothes and material objects or things, or, whatever else. Of course, I don't want him to be mean to me. I don't ever want to be with someone that's just going to be cruel and mean and nasty to me. That wouldn't be something that I would ever want, no matter how focused someone is on what it is that they're doing in life. And I think that we need to have a reality check for women, maybe even men. Like, there's no such thing as perfection. We can all strive to be better and strive for perfection, but we'll never reach it. And we're always going to fail at something. And for all of us, I think that we need to be real with ourselves and understand that we're going to mess up. There are things that are going to happen in our life that we're going to fail at. We're not going to do right. We're going to say the wrong things. We're going to do the wrong things. We're going to be the wrong things. But as long as we're always trying to become a better person, that's good. And for me, when when I get to the point where I'm talking to someone, or I'm getting to know someone, or getting into a relationship or a friendship or whatever, I want to have a no stress zone. I know that sounds so crazy because life will happen and things will happen that will make you concerned. I don't ever want to be worried about anything because I know it's in God's hands. I really just want to, like, it's weird because I have these people around me who will say, "Oh, you got to do this. You got to do that. I would do this if I was you. I would do that if I was you. I would do all of these things differently. I would do this way, and I would go this way when I do this." And, there's just so much bad advice. There's so much bad advice out there, and people really mean the best. Like, they really do want to help you, they really do love you, and they really do want to encourage you. And things that work for them are great for them. And it's so amazing that, they're either in a happy relationship or they're married or whatever else is happening with them. And, I take what people give me, like the information people give me, with a grain of salt. They tell me something and I'm like, okay, I can see it that way. I understand. This is what I want, you know? But I also listen to what they say. I don't just take it and run with it. I mean, I do, like, sometimes it conflicts with what it is that I want. And so I have like this weird period of my life where I'm just like, these are the things that I want. The end. Like, I don't want to think about what someone else wants for their life because that's not what I want in my life. And we're two different people. And although this works for them, it's not going to work for me because of the type of life that I live, because I'm the type of woman who's focused on my purpose, who knows what her purpose is. And not every person can say they know what their purpose is, or that they really do intend on helping people, or that they really truly do listen to what it is that God's telling them to do. Most people just do whatever they want. Most of the time, my life makes no sense because God will be telling me to do something that makes absolutely no sense at all to anyone else. But I know that I need to be obedient. And if I have to even sacrifice things, I know I have to do it because that's what God wants me to do in my life. And so for people around me, they'll be like, "Oh, you didn't want to go out with this person? That doesn't make any sense." Or you didn't want to take this position? That makes no sense. The only way I'm moving in a job, and this is real, the only way that I even accept a job is if God tells me it's okay. I'm not going to anywhere else that God does not tell me to go. It might sound extreme to other people because you're not in my life and you're not on my journey, but seriously, the way that my life was in the past, I don't ever want to do anything ever again without God being right there present in my life. And I mean that 100%. I don't want to make I don't want to make any move in my life without God saying okay. And when God is on the fence, or if I haven't heard back from God, or if God told me that something was okay and I went ahead of God, then it turned out being a catastrophe, or I ended up messing up things that shouldn't have went that way in the first place. So I really truly in my life focus on what it is that God wants for me first before anything else. It doesn't matter how fine the person is. It doesn't matter how beneficial the friendship is. It doesn't matter how many zeros the job has after it. If God says that's not the job for me, it's not the job for me. And that's it. And I know I'm saying it, and I talk with a bunch of passion right now, and you're probably like, are you like this in real life? Yes, I am. Because when I tell you God has brought me through so many things that I should have not made it through. Like I I don't even know why. Well, I do know why he's using me for this purpose and why I'm doing these videos now, but sometimes I'm just like, I was a hot mess and you got me doing these videos. And God's like, that's exactly why I needed to use you, because we need somebody that's not going to be judging people for being who they are, and to know that no matter how messed up you are, no matter how much of a hot mess you are, no matter how many mistakes you made in the past, or the bad decisions that you made in the past, I'm going to still be able to use that. I'm going to still be able to use you, because there are people coming up behind you who are going through the same situation, who are going to need to know that it's okay and that I still got them. That regardless of whether you're perfect or you're not, whether you have some dirt on you or you don't, whether you've been in the streets or not, whether you've been whatever your past entails, I'm still going to use you for my glory. And so I think it's important for all of us to remember that, and to know that regardless of how much you're in the church, like I'm in the church, I'm in the Bible, I am in Bible study, spending time with God every day. But when I see other people around me who are doing the wrong thing or whatever else, I'm still nice to them. I still talk to them to let them know, to let them see the God in me, to know that I don't care what you're doing. I want you to know that it's going to be okay. And that regardless of what everyone else is thinking when they see you doing this or that, when I look at people, this is like one of my biggest flaws, but I think it could be a blessing as well. One of the things, my clothes are done. Sorry, I had to step away and stop the machine because it will literally continuously beep until you turn it off. And so, but what I was saying is, oh my goodness, I'm gonna lose my thought, aren't I? But I was gonna. One of the things that I think can be a benefit and a curse at the same time is I'm always hopeful for everyone. And so when I see people doing the wrong thing, or I see people that aren't like nice people or whatever else, I literally want them to do better. I literally I literally am like, I'll have a conversation with someone, whether it's a guy, woman, whatever, and we'll have a normal conversation. They'll talk about something and they'll talk about the things that they can't do, and it's like, this is gonna sound weird and it's probably a little crazy, but it is what it is. And so, like, I'll see someone doing something and they'll be so down on themselves, and I'm like, they are like so good at this. Why is it that they really believe that they can't do it? But I think about the times that I thought that I couldn't do stuff when other people thought I was good at it. It's sometimes even your enemies can see that you're good at something that you're not good at, or a friend or a acquaintance or a random stranger could see that you're good at something and you don't even realize it's a talent or a gift. God's already given you a gift or a blessing that you haven't even been using. Putting you haven't even been using the gifts that you've been given, because you are the only thing stopping you. And so sometimes when I look around at people or see people do or say things, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I would love to do blah, but I don't think anybody would do blah." Like they're hanging their whole existence on whether someone else is going to support them or do something to benefit them, when the things that they can do is amazing. And it's almost like they just don't believe in themselves. And I'm so corny for this, I know. But I really do, like, when I see people doing something, or I see someone that's talented in something, or they're talking about something and they're so passionate about it, like, no lie. This is so crazy, but I'm at this place, on my healing journey, and I'm just sitting at this place. They have like this costume event or whatever, and I'm there, and there's this person there. We're all in a group sitting around talking, and the person says something like, they start talking about like, going to school and how they love cooking and things like that. And I immediately notice the passion but behind their eyes when they start talking about cooking and how they like to like try to find the best like ingredients and the scents and the seasonings, and they just like really go into detail, and they're just learning, but they've always been a good cook. They just never really believed in themselves, and you can kind of see, I don't know if this is just me, but when they're talking about it, they're so passionate about it. You can tell it's something that they're really good at, that they really should be doing. And you can see the doubt in their eyes, like a little flicker of doubt. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but they're like, yeah, when I do this or something, and they have so much passion and energy behind it, and they're just so excited talking about it. And then you see like this, I can I say glimmer of hope fade? I don't know what to call it, but you see like this little unbelief in them, or like this self, I don't know how to describe it, but like the doubt, you can see the doubt flicker in their eyes, like that's the only thing stopping them is them. That one little flicker of doubt is the only thing holding them back from what it is that they're gifted in, or what it is that they are passionate about, or they really are great at. And it's so weird because no, I haven't tasted this person's food or anything like that. But it's so weird because when I look around at people, I want everybody to win. I know it sounds silly, it sounds so crazy, but I really do want everybody to win. And so people will see me and I'll talk to them, and immediately they think I'm hitting on them. And I'm like, I don't even know you, and I would not hit on you because I'm not the type of woman that would just do things like that anyways. I just am, I like to communicate, and I just want everybody to win. It's not that I think there's going to be a thing happening. I just see potential in everyone. Like I see like the passion and the purpose. I can see things that people should be doing in their life, things that people are like kind of taking for granted, or they're putting by the wayside. They're just acting as if it's not a real talent or a real gift or something that they really can't do. And it's something that they were given, like something that they should be using, but they just don't understand that it's something they really can do. And I know I say this and people are like, what, people think you're hitting on them? I literally walk down the street and people are like, I have a girlfriend. And I'm like, okay. And I just want to go get some groceries. I don't understand what's happening, but okay. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. All right. But it's hilarious. It happens like every day. Either someone says that or hey beautiful or they hit on me, and I'm just like, okay. I mean, it's nothing wrong with people doing that. I think it's great that people, take the initiative and they want to, really do things like that. And I don't want to make this about a me session. I just mindset, so you can see where my mind is when I'm talking about these things. And so it's just so crazy. Maybe I just have like a approachable personality or something. I don't know. Like people are just like, oh, she seems like a nice person. I don't know. I mean, women do it too. There's women that come up to me, and no, not in that way. There's women that come up to me and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. I love your hair, or I love your outfit," or they'll say other things like that, or they'll say, "Oh my gosh, something, something, something," and it's just so nice to hear that. And it must just be the energy because I just literally smile everywhere because I'm always thinking about how good God is. It's not because I did something and it just made me smile, or someone else did something for me, or they said something to me that was so nice and sweet, and it just, I mean, sometimes people say sweet things and I go, oh, and then, I focus on God and myself. I just, God first and then myself. I always have to correct that because I don't want anyone to think that I ever think that I'm at God's level, because I'm just a vessel. And so so it's just, it must just be the energy, but really, like, and then it probably has something to do with the fact that when I see people, I really do look at them. Like, I'm not just like, whatever, like, or just like giving them attitude or like looking with like a mad face or anything. I always look like this. Like, I really walk around. I know people are like, nobody's that happy. But I really do have peace in my life, so I can't help but smile because God's been so good to me. It's just one of those things. And no, I'm not always in a good mood, but I don't ever want to make anyone else feel like they deserve bad me being in a bad attitude or me being like nasty towards them just because I'm having a bad day. Like that's my own personal issue. It has nothing to do with anyone else. So I don't ever want anyone to feel like I'm just going to be nasty to them just because they're there. Like I want everyone to feel like good about themselves, if that makes any sense. I want them to feel like, I mean, I don't care if the person next to me is in a bad mood or whatever else, and I'm in a bad mood. I'm not going to use that and then just be mean. I'm going to be nice and lead in love and kindness because that's the way I would want to be treated. So, and that old saying, when you were growing up, treat others the way that you want to be treated, is so true because I don't ever want to come off as a person who just is rude to people just because. Like, no one deserves that. And it doesn't matter what's going on in my life. I might not always be in the best mood. Sometimes I'm around my family and I might be in a bad mood and I'll be like, hey, and I'll be like a little more quiet and they'll just be like, what's wrong with you? But but in general, I do for the most part try to be like in the best mood possible or at least have a smile on my face because I have too many blessings to be in a bad mood or to be mean or cruel to other people who don't even deserve it just because something's happening in my life. So I know the whole like first part of this video you might not even be able to hear it. I hope you can, but that washing machine was so loud and I had to move to this room because I'm not going to share that story because I don't want to be judged. But but I had some issues with some lighting in the room and you can just take that as you like. And so instead of because I like to do things on my own, I have to try to figure out this like unique lighting system that I have, and I don't want to ask anybody for help. So I'm just like, I'll figure it out. So I might do like 10 videos in this room just because I like for it to all be on the same thing. And when you see me move stuff around, usually it's like I was gonna do the videos as like every time the background changed, it was gonna be like a new like whatever like new list of videos, like all of the videos with this background would be all in one thing together, one group together, and then the other ones, like every time there's pictures that move in the background, or there was like a different background setting, they were gonna all be in one group. But I just did it month to month because I figured it would be easier for people to just click when they're going through, even though I really wish it would be like all of these are leadership videos, all of these are group growth videos. Maybe one day I'll do that. But right now I'm just doing it month to month and year. So then that way people can just go back, even though it says 3 months ago or whatever else. But that way, at least, if people want to go through like a year of videos or they need something extra or more motivation or something else, then they can just go there or whatever. I don't know. God will lead you wherever it is that you need to go because I'm here for God. And I've noticed that God has been using some of the videos for myself. Sometimes I will be going through a season of my life or something will be happening and God will be like all of a sudden this video of mine will pop up or it'll be like on a feed or something else and I'll click it and I don't even remember saying some of the stuff that I said and it's almost like and I always pray before the videos because I want to make sure I'm focused on God and not the world. I'm not focused on me. I'm not focused on anything else. I'm just focused on doing what it is that God intends for me to do because it's so easy to get distracted by like the likes or people on your page or followers or the people who say things to you about certain things like negative or positive. But I always keep God in the forefront of my mind. I always want him to be the only focus of these videos is whatever his intention is for it, whether it's helping me or someone else or someone that I know or a legacy for generations to come after me after I pass or whatever else. Like I want it to be something that God can use for his benefit. I'm doing this because God is telling me to do it, and whatever He sees fit for it to be used for is exactly what I want it to be used for. I'm never doing these videos because I just want to vent about something I'm going through, even though sometimes I do talk about something that I've learned and then it ends up being part of something that I've been through, and I'm just like, I don't ever want anyone to feel like, I would ever hold anything against them, because people have to live their own lives regardless of what decision they make, whether, you know, they are friends with me or not, or they like me or they don't, or I'm in a job there or I'm not. I just, I really am doing this for God, and that's it. It's not about me. It's not about anyone else. It's only about what I can do for His glory. That I can, if I'm being used, if my story's being used, if things that I went through have been used, it's all for a purpose of helping others. It's never for a cruel intention or to hurt anyone else or make anyone feel a certain type of way. It's really just this journey that I'm on, and me just trying to learn more about myself, building a relationship with God, and trying to stay focused on my purpose. And so I know I said a whole bunch of other things, but I really truly want these videos to be a blessing to whoever it's for, and for everyone to understand that you're not going to be perfect. That the person that you're looking for as a friend is not going to be perfect. They're going to be human just like you. Just like you won't always call or say the right things or do the right things, is exactly how they're going to be. So try not to be so hard on a human, because they're not God. God is the only perfect one. You are not perfect. God is the only perfect one. So when you are doing the best that you can and you mess up, because you will, and when you fail, because you will, and when you lose, which really is a lesson, and it's not a loss, it's a lesson. And it's the way that God's leading you into whatever direction that is that you have to go. And your rejection is just a redirection of your path or whatever else. So just know that no matter who you are, no matter what it is that you're going through, if you focus on God first, everything else will fall into place. I know people say that and it sounds like a cliche, but it's so true. Whenever I focus on what I want, my life goes all over the place. It's crazy. It's a hot mess. It's things are happening. Sorry, I kicked the thing because like the crisscross applesauce and stuff, and it's hard to do that in an avocado chair. This is what we call this here. We call it the avocado chair because it's shaped like an avocado. It's really comfortable. But anyways, but yeah. So when you're going through life, I know that was a little distracting and I'm going to try to stay focused. But in these videos, I really have so much on my mind. I'm thinking of like what I'm going to do next. And I'm in resting season, but my mind is still going 100 miles a minute. I cleaned the entire house this morning. And I'm still like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do next? I cleaned the house. I worked. I did some business stuff. I I straightened up. I started doing laundry. Like, I just, whew, I really, I got some things done with the car. Like, and I still have about six, I still have about a good 6 hours of this day before I have to get ready and do my whole nighttime routine and everything. It's just like a lot of time. God, I'm trying to rest. I really am. I'm just so used to constantly going and doing a bunch of things, and I straighten up here and there. So when I say clean the house, I mean I'm like cleaning the bathroom from top to bottom and reorganizing everything. I mean that when I'm in the kitchen, I'm like cleaning counters, wiping off the tables, I'm straightening things, I'm sweeping the floors, and I'm mopping the floors. I'm doing all the dishes and putting all the dishes away. I'm cleaning the the stove, and sometimes I'm wiping down cabinets, sometimes I'm not. It just depends. And that's it. And I vacuum the floors and clean the floors, and I like wipe down some walls or some different things. And sometimes I'll do like the baseboards and stuff like that and things like that. That's what I'm doing when I clean the house. It's a bunch of just reorganizing and then doing some like normal stuff here and there. It's usually not like a deep clean where I have to go and like do a whole bunch of stuff because I usually am cleaning a little bit every day. I'm always putting away my jacket every single day. I'm making my bed every single day. When I am brushing my teeth, I clean out the sink after. So it's not that I'm scrubbing, hard toothpaste stains that have been there for an entire week. It's literally just day to day. And then when I'm spraying it, I'm wiping off like, the stainless steel stuff and then wiping around the sink and cleaning it out and rinsing and, you know, Windexing the mirrors in the bathroom and things like that. And did I just promote Windex? But you know what I mean. Window cleaning. It's too late now. I already said it. But that's what I'm doing. And, there are some other things that I could do that I probably should do soon. Like, I do have to start doing my window seals because it's about that time after, like, the leaves have fallen. And I did it at the beginning of spring because that's when pollen is out, and I really don't want to get sick with all that stuff coming in and all that. So I do have to do window seals one day, but today may or may not be the day that I do that, even though I have plenty of time. I'll see how I feel because I've already cleaned everything and then I've already did, you know, all the other stuff in the outfit that I have on. If I rub against something, I'm gonna get it all over my jeans because I wore light jeans because I thought I was done cleaning. So, but now that I have 6 hours, I don't know, but I would show you around this room, but yeah, I think this is good. I'm gonna keep that private, but have like little plants and stuff sitting around. Like I have one on this side of the French. These are the French doors, and then I have one on the other side, and it's just like a little sitting area. And I keep like my books and stuff here. It's not a big giant bookshelf like when I envision building a house, I envision like a wall full of books with like the ladder thing from back in the day with the libraries where you would go on the ladder and you would like push over, go on one side and push over to go on another side with the ladder with the wheels at the bottom. It's not one of those, but I love the way it's set up because it's not a lot. And then when I have to move with books, it's a nightmare. So my book supply is like a little small thing with some informational books that have impacted my life, things that really motivate me to help me grow, and then like series, like I have Harry Potter books because I grew up on those. That was one of the first books that I read when I was in elementary school. And so I have like things like that, and then I have like a few James Patterson novels, stuff like that, that I like started off on, and I just have them in there. But other than that, self help, series books, and it's informational. Like I have a dictionary, even though you can go online. I have a thesaurus, even though you can go online. I have a grammar book from like when I first started college when APA style was out and they were doing MLA and all that other stuff. So I just have different writing styles there. And I have a book on communication because, I struggle with communication, but I did take intro to communication when I was in college. And I also took, I think it was human issues, human problems, something, human issues, I think is what it was. And it was a form of communicating with different people, although there were societal standards and different stereotypes and all these other things that make it seem as if this is the way that you can communicate with someone, but really because of those types of stereotypes, because of religion or race or whatever else, there are different forms of communications that are acceptable in different areas and things like that. So I kept that book just because I like to like look in it here and there and just like see different things that I didn't see before or whatever else. But that's besides the point. I really get into like all of these different things, and whenever I feel like I can like learn more stuff, I'm always trying to pull more knowledge from different things. But whether it's people or like I don't know, a seminar or a course or anything. Like, when I was home or doing other things before I like started a new position, I would just take a whole bunch of courses. I would be like taking a course on communicating. I would be taking a course on growing my business. Taking all of these different courses, and I would work the course, and it might be like a 4 hour or 30-minute course or hour course or whatever. 4 hours go by, I'm finished. I done worked out. I I vacuumed the floors or whatever else it is, clean the floors, whatever else, wipe down the cabinets and the floorboards and things like that. And Still have tons of hours to do things, but but today, oh, I do have other stuff that I have to do, so that will help. Thank you, Jesus. I really am trying to get better at being able to just rest though, because I feel like it's important, especially when you know it's something that you struggle with, to work on it, because in an area where you're weak, that could be an area that the adversary tries to play on you. That could be an area where you could try to do things to fill in your time that mean you no good. Things that phone's going off. One second. I have to call back. Okay. But those are spaces or areas in your life that the adversary could try to attack you, and that's things that when the idle mind goes hungry, it's not good for your mind to sit idle at all. And when God says rest, he does not mean rest my mind and don't focus on him. He means rest in the spirit. He means rest in his word. He means to lean solely on him, to lean not on my own understanding, but to allow him to lead me in my life. And that's exactly what I want to do in this season of my waiting season. And I've been fasting, and it's honestly been helping. The things that were draining my energy the last, what was it, yesterday or the day before, have felt like I feel like I'm headed in the right direction. My spirit feels like it's filling. And it's so weird to say that, and it's only been like a couple days, but it really does feel like it's helping me spiritually. It feels like mentally I'm not receiving several attacks right now or during the entire day. Now I'm so focused on making sure that God is number one and just being obedient and willing to sacrifice, that God is saying, okay, I can see that you're loyal. And because you're loyal, I'm going to bless you. Things, things has been working out in this season of my life that I was concerned about. I really was like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this. And God made a way. He really makes a way out of no way. I know people always say this, but it is so true. Like, just when I was about to feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know how. And then I was like, mm-mm. I was like, God made a way out of no way. We're not going to start pretending like we're going to be concerned about something that's going to happen in life when we have no control over our life. And I'm saying that for me and everyone watching. That's why I'm saying we. Like no. As soon as you feel like you're about to start doubting things, or you're about to start feeling like God can't come through, know that he's already brought you through so many other things. When you start listing those several things that you already know, plus the things that you weren't in the room for, but he made a way for you anyways, and the things that he's already doing for your future that you haven't even got yet, but you're about to receive it, it's going to just make you really change your whole mindset. It will make you, it will really change things deep down in your soul, in your spirit, everything. And it's so easy for me to say, oh, I don't know. No, no, I might not know, but I know someone that does know. And I know he's about to work it out for me. He's about to make a way out of no way. So I have no reason to worry. And as soon as I say, God got me, God got this. And I might have been concerned, but I have nothing to worry about. And next thing you know, just like that, it was taken care of. I was like, whoo, won't he do it? I really felt it in my spirit. I was just like, whew, okay, thank you, Jesus. No, but seriously, like he really does come through. And it's always when you least expect it. You never know what he's going to do in your life and how he's going to do it, but he always makes a way out of no way. He always comes through for you. He always will be there for you when no one else is around. When you feel like you haven't found that job or that friendship or that person, God will always be there. He will always be there for you to lean on. You will always be able to call on him. You will always be able to talk to him any time of day. You might be worried about a call or a text from your friend and say, "Oh, we haven't talked to each other in a month," but God talks to you every day. Are you listening to him? He has given you 66, I think it is, stories in the Bible for you to read, to listen to his next instruction, to interpret the things that he's saying to you, to listen to the words as you speak them, to have things resonate with your soul, to have revelations, to have have a guideline for you in your life and ways and things that you should do, paths that you should take in your life. And honestly, me focusing on God is like I'm so used to going, and I am like cleaning the house and stuff like that, but I'm just being a good steward of the things that I'm already blessed with. So it's not that I'm doing this to stay busy. I'm really just trying to focus on being the best Christian that I can be right now. I'm focused solely on God. God saying, do this, I'm doing it. If God if God wants to bless me with, I love this house so much. I hope that I get to stay here. Like, you don't even understand. Or if I do have to move somewhere, I hope that God blesses me to be able to build a house exactly like this that feels like home, just like this house does. Like, you don't even understand. People will come in here, and the first thing everyone says is it's cozy and that it feels like home. And it's so true because the moment I stepped in this house, I knew it was the house for me. It's so crazy. And I didn't even know if I was going to be able to get it. I didn't know if I could afford it. I didn't know like anything at the time. Like there was so many things going on in my life. I just really didn't know how it was going to happen. And God was just like, get it. And I did. And I've been here ever since. And it has been a complete blessing. It hasn't been too much because it's not a huge, gigantic house where I gotta do all of this extra stuff to keep it up. And then the things that I do need, like outside stuff or whatever else, I've had family and I have people that come to help me with things. Thank God that God has allowed for to come into my life to help with areas that I can't do or things that I may need help with that I wouldn't have wanted to ask for, but I needed in my life. And so God really does make a way for you, even when you don't see how it's going to happen. Like he said to get the house, and the next thing you know, I got a promotion. He said to move this way, and the next thing you know, I meet people in my life who are the support that I needed. He told me that I need to work on communication. I learned better ways to communication. He tells me that I need to be compassionate with certain people, and I start becoming compassionate. He tells me to wait on certain things, and I did not wait at first, which I wish I would have, but I understand why he told me to wait because it's not about when it's my time. It's not about me. It's about being better. It's about doing things when God instructs me to, being obedient and willing to sacrifice so that God can be number one and not any person before him. And he can get those things off of me that he needed to. He can show me what's really truly important and not the things that I thought were important when I was younger or the things that I hear other people say are important are not the same things that are important to me. Like I care about consistency and reciprocity and communication, but everyone's communication style is not the same. I want to be important, but that does not mean that I am the end all be all and everything to someone because God should be everything to both of us. I may want, a friendship where we get to talk to each other every day and we get to hang out every weekend, but my friend works. I have vendor shows that I do on Saturdays, like I go to church on Sunday. There's things that happen in real life, so it's not that either one of us is being a bad friend, it's just that's life. And I can't expect people, anyone in my life, to just do what I want them to do. Like, I mean, when it comes to respect, of course, I want both of us to respect each other and to honor each other. When I say honor, I know people are going to probably think that that's like a real heavy load, but I mean like we have mutual respect, there's some mutual edification. We are both receiving something from this relationship. There's reciprocity. It's not just that I'm giving everything and receiving nothing. It's not just that I'm doing all of these extra things to make someone else feel comfortable while I feel uncomfortable and uneasy. It's that we are both giving something. And it's not that we're draining each other or stressing each other out. It's just that we both understand that life happens and that real life exists outside of me and my friends or anyone else. And so it's just things like that is what God is really teaching me at this point in my life. And in short, it's not about you, it's about God. And it's so true because if it was about me, my life would be hectic. It would be stressful. It would be all over the place. It would be a hot mess. Because God is at the center of my life, I really feel peace, even when most people would be freaking out right now, when most people would be going crazy, when most people would be like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. Like, I do have that feeling And I have thought of like different things before the fast and stuff like that that were concerning to me, but the peace never left me. Like I still feel God's peace, which is weird since I should be completely stressed out right now. But it's like because I called on him, because I'm fasting, because I'm willing to sacrifice things for him, because I'm willing to be obedient, God is saying, okay, I know you're loyal and I know I can trust you. And because I can trust you, I will give you more. I will give you the things that you need, the things that your heart desires. And I know that even if I don't receive the things that I want, everything that God wants me to have is everything that I should have for my life, regardless if I see it or not. And the way that I feel when I receive things that God gives me is unlike anything else I could have ever imagined. And so let me hurry up and end this because I don't want to make this too long, and I do have to leave soon because I have some other things that I forgot that I had to do. I didn't put it on a schedule or anything. And I didn't do it intentionally. I just was being obedient to God, and I really just wanted to just focus on him without a time period, without there being like a moment that I have to do this right now. I really just wanted to give him all the glory and really just do things where I'm serving in my purpose, and that's it. And so, me being a good steward of this house that he's blessed me with, me being a good, kind hearted person, me serving, me being intentional with my life, me focusing on God first and foremost, me taking care of my body by, doing my smoothie today, eating healthy and exercising. And just even when someone gave me news today about something with my business stuff and it was not good, it wasn't bad and it wasn't good. But instead of me being like, well, you need to do this, I was just like, okay, I understand that this is what's happening. I really had a real discussion about it. I figured out a solution. And it was because I led with love and kindness. I didn't lead with trying to be right. I didn't lead with, I know everything and I don't want to hear anything you have to say. I didn't lead with cruel intentions or anything like that. I just was willing to listen and to lead with love and kindness and be obedient to God. And had I been doing things my way, maybe things would be different. Maybe, I wouldn't be in this house, or I wouldn't have the things that God had blessed me with, or be able to feel joy and peace in my life. Because when you seek what's only beneficial to you, selfishness never blesses you. The only thing that gives you blessings is true good intentions, is letting God lead you. Oh, in conclusion, let God lead you no matter what's happening in your life, no matter if you understand or don't. You can always tell it's God because you'll never understand the reason why. It'll just be do this and you'll be like, okay, I'm going to take 3 steps to the left. And the next thing you know, something fell right beside you and that could have been the end of your life. But God saved you because you were being obedient and you listened. You made it out. You made it out of the relationship. You made it out of the the space that you were in, something that was holding you back, whatever it is. It's just, and I know that was like an extreme example, but seriously, sometimes God will say, do things like one day I was at work and God said, stay at work longer. And I was just thinking, man, I just want to go home. I'm only keeping it real because I don't want you to think that I just be like, okay, I'm going to stay at work longer. Like, I was like, my first thought for real was like, okay, God. And I was like, I really want to go home, but I'm going to listen to God. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I'm going to stay a little bit longer. So I'm staying. I go to come down the road and there's a crash that happened 15 minutes before I would have left to go down the road. And I stayed 15 minutes later. So sometimes God will tell you to do something. You might not ever understand the reason why he's telling you to do it, but whatever reason God has is always better than what we have understanding to do. Lean not on your own understanding, because when we try to figure things out for ourselves, we will never be able to understand where God's coming from or why he's doing things in the moment. We might eventually learn because we'll see, oh, this was better for me, or this really does make more sense, or this person really is blah, or this friendship really does make sense, because if I would have been a friend to that person 2 years ago, my attitude would have been different. I wouldn't have been able to handle the situations that they're going through. I wouldn't have been able to grow the way that I did while still trying to cater to someone else's needs or whatever else. Or I would have been a totally different person then or whatever else. So, and then also when we are looking for someone to lead us, know that you're asking for them to already have direction in their life, for them to be able to lead themselves. They cannot lead someone that they don't know. They don't know your ins and outs, your ups and downs. They don't know your personality. They don't know anything about you. So they're not going to be good at leading someone who's a complete stranger to them, that doesn't know who they are, that has no idea how you function, communicate things that you like and don't like, whatever else. They're not going to be able to do that. What they can do is have direction and purpose and really be committed to doing better, to changing, to growing, to being obedient to God. And that's what makes a good leader. And that's what would make me follow someone who God enters into my life. So yes. So lean not on your own into your own understanding, and sometimes God will lead you beside still waters because you really do need to just focus on him. All of the distractions that are around you, take some time and really just cut them off. Cut off the TV, cut off the electronics, cut off the videos, cut off everything. You might even have to cut off this video. Cut off the video if God tells you to cut off the video. I'm only here for what God is using this for. I'm not here for my benefit at all. So if you need to take a break, take a break from electronics, from social media, whatever it is that you got to do. I don't know if they like cut that out in these videos because they want people to be online, but whatever it is that God, wherever God is leading you to do in your rest season, whatever else it is, rest is not laziness. Rest is resting in his word, resting on his promises, being obedient to him and sacrificing to him. It has nothing to do with being lazy, just sitting around acting like you don't have to do anything. It's just going to be given to you while you lay there. Like, you really, really do have to be intentional with your life, and you have to be willing to allow God to lead you.